the wild winds call. Jasper's walking, taking pictures of it all. Boots on the ground, heart in the sky, following the blazes, just a rambling guy. Through the valleys, over the hills, chasing that freedom, feeling the thrill. With every sunrise, he's finding his way, living the dream, one step a day. Trail named Jasper, walking on through, Bruce trail bound with a camera view.
Leaving the Morag Hostel. It's about 5:45-ish. Had my eggs for breakfast. I had eggs for dinner. So I loaded up on my eggs. Had some fruit last night in the form of an orange. I'm packing out an orange today and a sandwich for lunch from the Spa store. I love the Spa stores. So there's Morag Hostel. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 3 on the Great Glen Way. So, a change in the weather. The last 2 days have been just glorious hiking weather. In fact, too glorious, just too hot. 27, 28 degrees Celsius. I mean, it's fine. Much better than the cold, the wind, the rain. Oh my God, yes. But then it gets too hot and you're just sweating all day. I know, Jasper's picky. But the weather's going to change. We're okay this morning. Sky's grayed right over. The rain has come back. The temperatures drop. And undoubtedly the winds will pick up again. And I think from around lunchtime today, early afternoon, we're going to be back into the range for the remainder of this particular trail. Yeah. So, having said all that, we're leaving Fort Augustus. Very pretty Scottish tourist town. Its claim to fame, well, it's right at the beginning of Loch Ness. And they're using that on every sign they have. It refers to the Loch Ness Monster and pictures of Nessie and, you know, drawings and all this kind of thing. So they're really cashing in on the Loch Ness Monster, which is fine. I mean, why not? If that's the seeds you have to plant, then, you know, grow your harvest, right? Blaze. Great Glen Way. Okay, feeling good. Also drank between last night and this morning probably a liter of milk. Try to get the nutrients back in my body that, you know, instant potatoes and ramen noodles are not supplying on trail, and bars, chocolate bars and granola bars. Even though you need the energy, you still, when you come to a town, you like to load up on the better things, the nutrients, the fruits, veggies, if you can. I did not have veggies, eggs, this kind of thing. Anyhow, a little bit about the hostel. So the hostel, first of all, it's right on trail. So that's a point right there. It has a communal kitchen, so you can cook your eggs and so on and so on. It's got a point right there. Remember the one in Glasgow we stayed at, Safeway? It does not have a communal kitchen. So you essentially have to find a quiet little spot to use your camp stove, which is difficult, or you have to buy food from the groceries already made. So that's huge. Bed was comfortable. 4 beds in my bunk room and ensuite. I shared it with a young guy who was above me, and then there was a German mom and daughter for the other 2, so mixed dorms. That's fine too. Yeah, so it's dated. Now it has a bar, it has great seating areas, nice big comfy armchairs, leather armchairs and couches and coffee tables and all this kind of stuff. And it has a bar, it has a menu. You can get burger, dinners, pasta, and so on. They do a breakfast for £6.50 continental, starts at 7:30. So what would I give it? Well, it's clean enough, don't get me wrong, but it's dated. I'm going with 4 out of 5. It's getting the 4 because of its location on trail. Communal kitchen, perfect. Seating area, quality of bed. My bunk room was clean, bathroom was clean. So yeah, I'm giving it a 4 out of 5, and would I stay there again? Most definitely. Most definitely. Okay, let's get to it. So I did just check my watch on my cell phone, and it's 5:30 in the morning. And you know, I just love the early morning. It's got to be the best time of day. It really does. I know we've talked about this before, but I really do love it. It's just gorgeous. There's some birds singing. Yeah. There's a nice gentle coolness to the air. According to the weather report right now, it's 14 degrees Celsius. So yesterday afternoon, when I arrived in Fort Augustus, it was 28. And that had cooled off from about 29. Water, so I noticed now, and a lot of the times we'd been along the canals, and yesterday we kind of screwed up and we'd have been along the canal all day, but we ended up taking the high route. So we went over some of the hills, mountains and so on. That's fine, it was pretty. But generally speaking, we've had access to water, natural water sources and so on. And then of course you come through a community like this and you can buy water if you need to. But moving forward, I don't believe, from what I'm seeing on the trail, that we are going to be next to the canal. The canal's still going to be there. It goes all the way up, but we're going to move a little bit further away from it. So it's still going to be to our right, but not within easy access for water. So I am also told by other hikers that have been ahead of me on Facebook page, when I asked the question about water sources, they said the last couple of days or so, you know, it becomes fewer and farther between for water sources. Anyhow, that all means that we may have, well, we will have water carriers involved as we progress. So we have to keep that in mind. 7.5 miles to Invermorrison this morning. And then from Invermorrison, we push north to, I'm going to tell you what it says because I can't recall the name. So I'm digging out my little bookie here. It begins with a D. It's just called, I'm reading it to you, I can't see with that, my God. Drummadorchet. So after we pass Invermorrison, oh, we have a left turn. After we pass Invermorrison today, we which is at 7.5 miles. We will then be pushing to Drummadorshett. That's further away. We won't get there today, but we will get there tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to kind of mention those things. Water carriage. Oh, nice water next to me right here. But again, it's like 5:30, 5:45, so we don't need it yet. Okay. So now, what we're looking at, up to yesterday when we finished, we were looking at Loch Lotchie. But now, the infamous Loch Ness. Ooh, what's that I can see? Oh, it's a sailboat. Okay, well, keep your eyes peeled, because this is Loch Ness. Very, very famous location for sure. Okay, lots and lots of logging operations all through Scotland, I've noticed. Lots of it. There's a beautiful view of Loch Ness. Wow. That's something. So, I don't know, somewhere around 4 miles maybe 4 miles out of Fort Augustus. Invercollie campsite open down this trail right here. There's also another sign on the left side of the trail if you're NOBO, just with a tent symbol. So there is, whatever that is, I don't know. I am not going down there. I'm continuing along the trail. But again, around 4 miles. In fact, you know what? Let me take out my app and we'll see exactly where it was distance-wise. Okay. So 38, and we were at 34.3. So basically 3.7, 3.6 miles. Yeah. 3.6 miles out of Fort Augusta is the Invercollie campground. Oh, we know that much. Great Glen Way, left turn. Entering Invermorrison. That's fine. The rushing river below us. It's way too early to be carrying camp water out of here. It's not quite 9 o'clock in the morning yet. So, I'd originally thought about this as a camp water source, but pretty. Oh my. Be taking a look at that. Isn't that pretty? Huh. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Wow. Oh, yeah. It would probably be hard to get down there, too, to get water. Okay. Okay. Maybe find a little spot for a break. Could sit right on this wall, but see if there's a little park or anything. Totally and completely unexpected. Coffee shop. Coffee, some supplies, cookies and resupply items, noodles, baked goods, pies. It's the community store in Invermorrison. And it's right opposite the Glen Morrison Arms Motel. It's right next to it, right here. This is a little place, a little bench to sit on. Garbage to get rid of your garbage. Perfect little stop. leaving Invermorrison after my delightful coffee, and I picked up some gum to chew on at that store. Chat with the nice gentleman. He explains to me up the trail here, which I was aware of, there's a high and a low route option. I was going to take the low route, and he said the low route is closed. It's marked closed due to logging operations. So some people have tried to get through there. He said, but if the loggers are working, they will turn you around and you walk all the way in there, all the way back again, then have to go over the high route. You're better off just doing the high route, which today is going to put us squarely and firmly in the clouds. Now, either way, although I know we've got a kick-ass climb out of Invermorrison, which we're about to start now. The climb out of Invermorrison, well worth the steps. Pretty much at the top here, I believe, but who knows. We have to do the high route today, so anyhow, Loch Ness below, sky, sunshine trying to poke through. Sky is clearing a little bit, and I believe it was supposed to do that for a couple of hours before the rains came, but either way, we'll take it right now. Okay, the trail ahead of me. So it turned out there was no barrier at all at the high or low route split. It clearly gave me the choice of taking the high route, which was marked, or the low route, which was marked. There was no indication whatsoever of logging ahead or barriers, nothing. It was totally as normal, free to choose. So we chose the low route. One of the main reasons we chose the low route is I have a better chance of camp waters later in the day running from the top of these mountains down. I have seen a couple of water sources since we made the split. So I think that's usually important. Secondly, Stone Seat. Well, there's a side trail to the Stone Seat. Okay. And the Great Glen Way straight ahead. Okay. So, little change. Now, it could well be that Monday to Friday the barrier is there and the logging is taking place. But on a weekend, maybe it's open to, they're not working on a weekend. So they open the trail, the low route. I don't know. But it was clearly open. No indications, as I say, whatsoever of closures or restrictions. Beautiful through here. This is one of the enchanted fairy tale forests for sure. Yeah. Right here, just on the left side of the trail, you come to what's called the Stone Cave. That would be great in rain, high winds. Great little shelter. Wow, interesting. And on the actual trail marker itself, there's a trail marker with the Great Glen Way blaze, or confidence marker, and it just says Stone Cave. Interesting indeed. Wow, again, something from a time gone by. Yeah. Been very, very, very interesting, the Great Glen Way. Just super interesting. So is the West Island Way. A lot of history. Just interesting. So just down a little side trail. See, there's a bridge back there, right here. And where the bridge is, it's a long way down to the water source. A long way down. I couldn't get down there. Long way down. But there's a little side trail there. And I followed the side trail. It's like a little cabin. And then a little walkway, if you will, down to the water source. So I filtered a liter. That will allow me today, because don't forget we're packing out a sandwich which we're going to eat shortly. But today I thought I would make a coffee to go with that sandwich. And secondly, it will top up my electrolyte water bottle. So yeah, still too early to bring camp water, but that will do for lunch water. That's what I'm thinking. Out of this water source, right down there, just off those rocks and that branch, I just filtered 2.3 liters. The 0.3 liters was to top up my electrolyte bottle, and 2 liters, 1 liter each, from my smart bottles. I now have camp water. Delighted. It's early, it's 1:30. Well, look at that. There's a really nice little camp spot right there. Quite often, next to a water source, near a water source, there's an established camp spot. It's just, they just go together. Water and camp spots. Beautiful view. Loch Ness down through the trees. Gorgeous. However, it's only around 1:30. So I'm thinking to myself, oh, I gotta check what's dangling. Okay, it's just my hat. Thinking to myself, another, 3:30, that would be fine. I've seen much fewer water sources, so I thought when I saw that and the time, I will take it. I will filter it. So yeah, the day progresses very, very well. We actually just finished a big solid climb, and we're now north of the high-low level split. I think that's the last ones we have on this particular trail. I think now it's a set trail. No more choices. You just go or you don't go. There is no in between. Okay. Speaking of going. But you know what? Just look how pretty this is up here. We're high because we climbed a long way up for like a good hour and whatever, just going up. But yeah,